Yo, what's going on YouTube? How's everybody doing? So yesterday I posted a short announcing that I'm going to be releasing a song called Platos Cave next week Friday on the 1st of November. And I also explained that I'm going to give everybody some information on the song in terms of what Plato is, like who Plato is, what Platos Cave is, where it comes from, and obviously what it means. Now, a lot of you guys may already know about this, and if you do, that's incredible. Stay tuned regardless, and if you don't, then stay tuned regardless, I guess, right? So let's get to it. Plato is a philosopher, and he was born like 2,000 years ago, like 437 BCE, which stands for before Christ's era, and then BC also means like before the common era. But he was born 2,000 years ago, so he was like a student of someone called Socrates, who's also like a philosopher. They're both philosophers, and they were both very like pinnacle during their times. They were very much influential, and some of the people of whom Plato actually knew got arrested, and they got in trouble with the government in the States because they were talking about very like interesting topics that would actually revolutionize the mind. So that's the backstory of Plato. And Plato's allegory of the cave. Allegory means to use a story, poem, or picture to portray and send a deeper meaning. So they use the cave story as a story to give the meaning of what it really means. And let's get into it. Oh, before Plato's Cave, the allegory of Plato's Cave comes out of the book called The Republic by Plato. And if you search up Plato's Cave on YouTube, you're going to see like a lot of results. You're going to see like a lot of videos that talk about it. And that's a cool thing. That's a good thing. But sometimes a lot of people can sort of like read Plato's Cave and then add their own kind of meanings and everything. So I read the extract from from Republic, the book, on this link that's in the bio. And it's from a website that's owned by Harvard. So it's a reliable source. And if you feel as though I said something incorrect, or if you feel as though I got a spot on, put it in the comment section and let's exchange ideas. So let's get into it. Plato's Cave is about captives who have been held in a cave since they were born, and their legs are chained together, their hands are chained, and their head is chained in order for it to only be able to look frontwards. And how it works is that behind them there's this big fire. It's like a furnace, and what happens is that there's a fire behind them, and then right in front of the fire there's like a hallway that you can walk back and forth on, right? And in that hallway there are people who are the people who have them captivated in there, and the people walk back and forth in the hallway. So there's a fire, then hallway, and then captives, right? So the people in the hallway would hold these like objects in front of the fire, and what happens is the fire is going against the object, and the object is showing a shadow on the walls. So that's all the captives see. They have never looked backwards. They have never seen anything else. They just look at the shadows of the objects that's being thrown onto them. So what happens is, as time progresses, this is all the captives know. So whenever they come up with a name for the shadow, they are literally giving it a name based on the idea that that is the real thing, right? So their whole world revolves around these shadows that's being depicted through this fire shining through these objects that give a shadow. And these objects that are being shown on the shadow are like people, it's like animals that are like carved, and some of them are wooden, and these are the objects that's being shown. So now, so far, we have captives that are born and raised in a cave. They are enchained. They can barely move. They can only look forward. There are shadows being depicted on the wall through a fire that's shining through these objects that are being shown through people walking this pathway, this gap between the captives and the fire. And so if a noise was made by the people walking up and down the pathway, the captives would think that the shadows are making that noise. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where if the captives could speak, as I said, they would give names to these shadows, right? So that's where I'm going to end this video. and I'm going to give you all a part 2 tomorrow to explain the rest of it, because it is so interesting. And this is literally what the song is about. So it is so exciting to be in a position to be giving y'all something that is so catchy yet so informative at the same time. So stay tuned for tomorrow.